Hiya Tina, really good session today. Hope you found it helpful. Just going to run through those couple of things that we talked about in the session. So for me, the hips now are working so much better in terms of the takeaway and the backswing. You're getting the movement better. We're now going to focus more so on what the hands are actually doing with the club. So in terms of your takeaway now, moving the golf club away nicely with the top half, club working back, as we can see now, sort of nicely on the inside, working at what we call the shaft angle. So I put the line there on the club shaft. You can see your club now working up that line absolutely perfectly. So when we get to about here, we're in a good spot. The focus you've got to look at now is getting the club, for you as a feel, to point the club shaft over towards, well, I guess the Eiffel Tower in this case. What you tend to do is we say lay it off. So the club now you can see pointing way over to the left. And the problem with that is now, when the club's in that direction, you start unwinding the body, your hands and arms are now naturally going to start working this way, back over the top. They're almost going to follow where the butt end of the golf club point is where the direction that club is now going to swing from. So from this position here now, it sort of creates a slightly over the top position. That club now sort of coming through your upper right arm, sort of right shoulder area. As we get down to here now, the club now sort of through your neck area, where we'd want to eventually see it, not necessarily yet, but sort of into the early part of next season, the club working more down through your right forearm, so you can sort of see the angle and how much we have to move it. This is going to be kind of from where you are now, I guess, from the end of this session, maybe end of December, January, February, that kind of progression. We're going to move that club down bit by bit. So if we look on the right hand one, again, same good takeaway. Club's working back really nicely now with the body. This looks really, really, really good. As we at the top of the batch now, the club now starting to point a bit more towards target. And this is going to be something we can just practice over and over again. But because the club is working a bit more, you can see the club now working back through more your right bicep. Getting down a little bit lower, we can see as the club gets to about here, it kind of comes more through your right tricep area, rather than on this left-hand one coming through more your neck area. So the club now is working shallower, better on the inside position, slightly outside there. But in terms of movement now, that golf ball now starting a bit more towards target, as we can see, as opposed to starting so far left. And like I said, part of the reason why that over the top came in was the club would often be open impact, curving that ball off to the right. So your way of fixing that was just hitting, I guess from a tennis term, a sort of cross-court shot over here somewhere, creating that over the top out of the line. So now the club face is in a much better position. The club face a lot stronger. The grip position is better. Right hand grip was behaving, certainly in the session yesterday, getting in a much more of a stronger position. That club now can work more down the line. And again, in time, we'll get that working more towards that right forearm here, which we can see progressing bit by bit throughout the winter. So how that makes sense? Any questions, obviously, do give me a shout, but I'll see you again soon. Cheers, Tina.